Record for my Facebook lah. Oh, okay. Okay. All right. As you are looking in the market right now, right, you can see that the current market situation is quite uncertain. So I found out this particular survey quite interesting. If let's say you are looking at the video content right now, okay, this is actually a Fortune 500 CEO survey result. So they are talking about what's happening in terms of the economic activity. How will it be? How will it be like after the post pandemic? Like a bit small, cannot see. I zoom up a bit bigger for you. So Fortune 500, right, survey all the CEOs of the 2020 Fortune 500 list, and here is the result. Okay, so you can see they are asking when will economic activity return to the level right before pandemic. Okay, these are the people who are the top guys who are very smart one by right they should be very updated in terms of the economic activities and all these things. So as you can see the polling result over here, right, you can see that 52.4% right will say that Q1 of 2022 then it will be returning back to the level before it was pandemic. Q1, quarter one of 2022. Over here you can see the 50.4%, this red color one. Oh, that's 2 more years to go. If you know what I mean, it's 2 more years to go. So you can see what's happening in the situation right now. They are also asking when will how come my chart like that? When will at least 90% of your workforce right have returned to their usual workplace? This is quite scary. You can see over here they ask in terms of the timeline. I think a lot of them they are quite divided in terms of their opinion. But the most staggering one right now over here, I can see 26.2% right says never. That means they are foreseeing like 90% of their workforce right will not go back to their usual workplace. So this is a fundamental shift in terms of the property market demand as well. Because as you see, if let's say the bosses, right, they don't think that their staff will need office space, right, this will mean that there will be a lot of demand, right, drop in terms of the office space, right. So office space is something that is very critical for the economic activity, right. Imagine if let's say your boss, right, don't need all this office space anymore, then what's going to happen is that you will have a drop in terms of the demand for office space, right or not? Then over here, business travel. This is talking about aviation. When will business travel at your company return to the level it was before the pandemic? Same thing as well. You can see the chart over here, 51.1%. Wow, this one the chart scary, man. The chart is 51.1% saying that the business travel will not return back to the normal. That means to say, right, if you are looking at this chart thing, right, you see, it means that the post COVID-19 situation, right, you have the aviation not recovering back. Because mind you, these people, right, they are the CEOs of the Fortune 500 list. So what they are saying has a weight. Hello, Alan Mock. Hello, bro, David. Hello, Yuting. Hello. So you can see, right, right now on the few more chartings, you can see, have you laid off or furlough? I also don't know what this English word means. I think maybe ask them to get lost. Right. Okay, good thing over here you can see, right, 48.9%, right, over here stated that there's no layoff as of this present moment. Right. So another charting you can see lay off more than 10%, 22.6. So there is also a reduction in the labor force in the market. Okay, but I would say that these are big companies globally lah. So you can see that they are saying that 48.9%, right, there's no layoff. Whereas, right, only a 7.1% has been hiring, right? So in January 2021, how do you expect your company total employment compared to when it was January 2020? This one also quite staggering. You can see the big triangle, not this 53.6% is saying that it's going to be slightly lesser in terms of their company total employment, right? And COVID-19 technological transformation, 75.5, 75% say accelerate. I think this one is the greatest joke of the century because there's a meme always ongoing saying that who is the person that lead to your company digital transformation? Number one, CEO. Number two, CTO. Number three, COVID. So number three, I see COVID is the accelerator of the technological or transformation or digital transformation. So this is something that, something that nobody expected it. I guess people are slower to changes. Behaviors of humans, the tendency is that they will take some time before they can make adjustment in terms of their behavior. So when something like this hit hard on them, right? No choice, everybody got to change. The lockdown as well and all these things, we have adapt to a different kind of behavior. All of us are stuck at home and all these things. Um, Same thing you see. Have you agreed in the cut of compensation? This one is quite divided, half-half. Some of them has already been serving a pay cut, right, in terms of their salary. So 50% say yes, 48.8% say no. All right, only 1.2% say no answer. When do you expect the capital spending in your company exceed the 2019 levels? A lot of them is saying that by 2021 onwards, then you will have a part of the spending going back to normal, right? So last August, the Business Roundtable issued a statement emphasizing company responsibility to various companies, to various stakeholders. Which statement below comes closest to reflecting your view? Okay, so it says over here, I agree with the statement and believe most good companies have always have operated that way. Nothing has changed. Okay. So over here itself, you can also see their reaction. This one is a bit politics already, so I don't want to touch. Right. So the most important thing that the crisis taught me, open-ended. Okay. So working from home works. That means there's really no need of office if you look at it this way. A lot of them, they are still adapting quite well in terms of their administrative work, in terms of their day-to-day operation. They are still able to function, I would say 90% to close to what they are working from in the office. So business cannot wait for transformation that it knows it needs. So likewise over here is already has been stated lah. And leadership and values, right, matters especially in crisis. It's only on the crisis status, right, that we all know how hard things are being hit with. So all these things, right, it always takes a crisis for us to understand what's really important, what's not, and the meaning of the word essential, right? This is something that is very interesting. Which country or regions do you see as presently the best investment opportunity next year? Fortune 500 still believe US is still the best, right? With 11.5% coming next, which is saying that Asia is the next best region for investment opportunity, right? So this is the opinion from the top Fortune 500 people lah. Okay, this one talking about politics already. Okay, don't want to touch. Okay, can. Okay, so there is also a question coming in, right? Talking about um, cooling measure. So over here, I also want to briefly touch on about the history of cooling measures that have been happening since 1997 of Singapore real estate market. So this chart that I'm showing over here, right, is talking only about the residential market. We are not talking about other segment of the market. This is just purely talking about residential market. So as you can see, back then in Asia financial crisis, right, the government has already started to implement some form of cooling measure and easing measures along the way. So case in point, you can see back in 1996 anti-speculation measure, right? There is an introduction of maximum loan, 80% capital gain tax if you sell within the first, second, or third year, buyer stamp duty, seller stamp duty. So this thing has been there since over 20 years ago already. This is nothing new actually. So Singapore government has been doing this. This is nothing new lah. So all these are cooling measures playing in terms of the stamp duty for buyer and seller, right? In 1997, they have been starting doing it already. Right. Of course, we can see they are also controlling from the supply side in terms of the government land sales, right? So in terms of the government land sales and all these things, you can see that they are tweaking around the supply and all these things. So as we all know that the basic economics are supply and demand. Whenever you have high supply, the prices will more or less drop down, stabilize if the demand remains unchanged. So after the Asian financial crisis, I think a lot of speculators is very badly hit. And soon after December 98, things starts to resume. But following which, very shortly, right, we also hit by another dot-com crash, right? And also at period of time, right, there's also the 911 happen, if you all have the memory. So at the point of time, if I still remember, I was watching the aeroplane hit the Twin Tower on Channel News Asia. This is something that I most vividly remember. Okay, so this is the part that I want to touch. You can see the green color one, right? The green color is all those that the government start to ease out the measures really, right? Whereby the government start to introduce government land sale reserve lease, and also foreigners allowed Sing dollar mortgage. This one I'm not so sure. If got some experts over here can let us know what is this mean. That means in the past foreigners cannot take bank loan in Singapore, is it? Then after this what? After December 2000 can take already. I guess this is what it means, right? Subsequently, they can say that buyers can use CPF to pay for 10% of the down payment. So all these green color dots, right, represents that the government is easing the market. That means they are trying to stimulate the market, trying to, let the market go higher up in terms of the pricing. This is what I'm seeing, right? In fact, back in 2000, close to 2005, that region, right, you can see that the loan to value, right, 80% to 90%. That means 10% down, you can buy property already. Right. So this is something cool. I think something that's very distant already. A lot of people, they don't know that last time you can pay 10% down, you can buy property already. But then, of course, subsequently, 06, 07, there's also another rise up. That's why we can see they start to implement a few cooling measures and easing measures start to happen already. And global financial crisis hit badly as well. Right now, we are seeing that we are still moving forwards from the crisis, and the cooling measures that is more memorable, something that I can remember one is really starting from here, which is around 2010, roughly November is when I started working in the real estate industry as well. Straight after army after army I come out and work already. So you can see cooling measure round one. Okay, you can say resale HDB MOP raised to 3 years from 1 to 2.5. So in the previously resale, if you buy resale HDB, right, your MOP, that the maximum you need to fulfill is only 2.5. But subsequently now it's raised to 3. I think now all of us know you buy HDB, right, minimum is 5 lah. Once you touch a HDB, right, there's a lot of restrictions involved already. Right. So this is something that you will want to take note. Then subsequently, cooling measure round 2, SSD 3% within the first year. Loan to value drop back again to 98 to 80%. You can see over here. Within a span of just how many years? 6 or 7 years. Loan to value initially changed from 80 to 90%. Subsequently changed back to 90 to 80%. So this is something that you want to take note of. Then cooling measure round 3, same thing. If you take a second mortgage loan, there will be the subsequent drop from the maximum loans from 80 to the 70%. And this is the first time we are seeing back the introduction of seller stamp duty. If you sell within the first 2 or 3rd year, right, there is a stamp duty payable. Then right now over here, same thing, resale HDB MOP raised to 5 years. And HDB buyers, right, have to sell their private residential. Right, this is something that you can see straight away the government don't want people to speculate in terms of the HDB market already. HDB market, as always, is always a public housing. So government, right, don't want people to 炒不要去炒那个主屋政府主屋. So this is something that they want speculators out of the HDB market. This is why they implemented so many policies and regulations revolving HDB, right? Subsequently, cooling measure number 2, number 4, hit again. Okay, so what happened then? Second loan dropped from 70 to 60%, right? And SSD, this is the time where it's hit the most hardest. If you sell within the first year, 16% stamp duty payable. Second year, 12%. Third year, 8%. Fourth year, 4%. Right? So this is another round of cooling measure number 4, as you can see over here. Okay? Then cooling measure number 5, additional buyer stamp duty, 10% for foreigner, 3% for PR buying second property, 3% for citizen buying their third and subsequent property. So this is cooling measure round 5 already. Actually, right now, all these cooling measures being implemented, right, is still not as severe, right? Right, so far, everybody is still continuing chonging the market, still buying. The prices is still going up, right? Things remain largely unchanged. The market sentiment is still very, very positive. Okay, then you can see cooling measure number 6. This is also a tweak in terms of the loan side. You can see that for non-individual, that means the people who buy under company name, their loan also dropped from 50 to 40%. This is something that you want to take note of, right? Then subsequently, this is the something that we are already familiar with, lah, the end stage already. Even higher ABSD, right? Citizen buying first property, no problem. Second property, 7%. Third property, 10%. Third or more property, 10%. PR, first property, you have to pay 5% already. So total normal buyer stamp duty, 3% plus 5%, total 8%. PR if you're buying property. Regardless HDB or condo, same, 8%. Second property, third property onwards, 10%. Foreigners, 15%. First one onwards is 15% already. Likewise, same thing as well. The loan becomes stringent and stringent. You can see that their loan to value is dropped even further, more and more less, how to say, mortgage LTV, you'll be able to take up to. And if let's say you are PR buyer, right, if you buy private property, you have to sell the HDB. Okay. Now, the last and final one is June 2013, TDSR. TDSR stands for Total Debt Servicing Ratio. But at the point of time, right, real estate agent, right, they call it Total Debt to Singapore Real Estate Market. Really very 惨 wow, a lot of people 该转行的转行，该做其他的做其他的。Right. Also around that point of time, I went to start another business. Right. June 2013 is where the TDSR, the last and final most hard hit one, hit on the Singapore property market, which some people say is the total death to Singapore real estate market. Okay, so after TDSR, right, you can see this is the most effective cooling measure in terms of the whole history. Right? As you can see right now, right, after June 2013, the whole property market, the prices drop. Right, volume drop lah. Some of my friends, they go and drive Uber lah. Some of my friends go back to, some of the property agent friends, they go back to their day job lah. Hey, talking about Uber last time, not bad, like, with the incentive and all that. Some of them, I think they chong 1 week, can get 1,000. So 1 month, if you chong 12 hours, I think some of them, they're saying that can get up to 7,000 in terms of their pay. But of course, this kind of incentive is over. Uber is no longer here. Grab also, the driver's incentive also removed already. So as you can see, things are changing a lot, right, in terms of the property scene. And we are seeing that slowly and surely the prices has been dropping since then until suddenly in March 2017, where the government have a signal come ready. So the signal is that in March 2017, seller stamp duty is lowered, right? Instead of the previous 12%, 8%, 4%, 16, 12, 8, 4, it becomes reduced by 1 year. That means that it becomes only 12, 8, 4. That means within 1 year, if you sell 12%, if in second year you sell 8%, within third year you sell 4%. All right. So because of this, right, wow, suddenly the market spike up again. At the point of time, right, I still remember this particular project called Twin View. All right, Twin View, if property agents, if you're watching, you know, wow, selling like hotcake. At the point of time, I went down with 3 buyers, and then only, no, I all never get. In the end, I brought one to go and buy a property at somewhere in East. So the market then was really very hot, and I still do remember that, wow, the balloting day, very crazy. Like everybody want to chong the property but cannot get. That's something that, property agents are sometimes love and hate. Love because, wow, the market sentiment is very good. Hate because you need balloting luck. Because sometimes you got buyers over there, right, but don't have balloting luck. Your buyer cannot get the unit, means you never close deal. Never close deal means no money. Right? Very sad, right? All right, so the market chong up until July 2018, which is the most recent one that we all know. Higher ABSD, lower loan to value. So same thing as well, the market was going up too high that the government do not want it to be that positive, that kind of extreme optimism. They always use the keyword sustainable. So they are talking about sustainable growth. So you can see, right, in July 2018, government slapped one more cooling measure straight after the easing measure on March 2017. So this is the norm that, I mean, this is the new norm that we are living in right now. If you're buying your property, 75% is the maximum loan. Okay, citizen, no problem, no tax. First house, no tax. Second, you got to pay 12% ABSD already. Third, 15% or more. PR, same thing as well. If you're buying your first house, 5% tax. Okay, second or more, straight away 15% already. Wow, very strong. I think this is really entirely a lot of speculators, a lot of people who are buying into property, right? They will also think twice. They will say, wow, so many tax if I want to buy residential property, especially for second and more. They would want to shift their money to elsewhere if let's say if they don't see that the property market, right, can cover back in terms of their real estate in their investment. Hey, hello Melvin, hello. Yeah. So what happened in the market, as you can see right now, right? Um, in the present market where we are operating in, a lot of them, right? Like for example, today we're talking about HDB upgraders. HDB upgraders, right? Today, right? If they want to keep their HDB and buy a second property as a condo, right? In the past, is a quite a trending to do, ma. Like today, I already fully paid my HDB. Okay, I keep my HDB. I go and buy a condo, right? Then I rent out my condo to cover my HDB loan. No? That's what a lot of people do last time. If you still remember, that means I already got a fully paid HDB. I just buy a condo. Then after that, my condo got loan, right? I use my rental from the HDB to cover my condo loan. No? So that's what a lot of people is doing last time. But now, a bit hard. Lah. Not say cannot, lah, but a bit hard. Lah, because if let's say a couple, both of your name is stuck inside the HDB. After that, you go and buy a condo, right? You pay the 12% ABSD. We talk about 1 mil property. 1 mil property, 12% is 120,000 already. Oh, siao, crazy. Oh, give government this kind of money. Hey, that's why people in the industry also started getting creative, right? A lot of things happening, like people teaching to things like sell one buy two, people teaching things like decoupling, experts and gurus helping people and consumers out there about the concept of 99-1 trust and all these things. So all these things, I'm also very grateful that PropNext, my company that I'm with, provides a very good, valuable trainings and platform to impart all this knowledge to people. So there are a lot of techniques and strategies and ways, right, to actually help people to, you know, not say siam lah, but legally avoid paying the additional buyer's stamp duty lah, in a very smart and savvy way. All right. So after that, no more already. Chill, no more already. That means after that, the July 2018 is the latest cooling measure. Then after that, no more already. Okay, everything start to become more stabilized lah for now. Okay, but as you can see, the property market, right, private residential market, people are still buying. Volume is still very healthy. Why is that so? Because as you can see, if you're following my news and media and Facebook, right, I've been sharing that a lot of non-resident savings rate is actually up. Meaning to say, right, the hot money is coming in already. That means foreigner, they're pumping money into Asia. And like it or not, if you look at Asia, right, they always compare Singapore, Hong Kong, financial hub. Then with things going in Hong Kong right now, the next best option is Singapore, right? So I'm not saying that what's happening in Hong Kong is good for Singapore, but rather that you have to think how the investor is thinking in terms of their money allocation, wealth allocation. So this is something that they would want to do in terms of planning for their wealth. Then Singapore, okay, what? Political stable, generally a very smart and educated workforce, right? People over here are more conservative and practical, right? Law-abiding citizen, right? Good traits lah, right? It's not bad traits, right? So all these things will always attract investors to come in, and Singapore always commit themselves to say that they are always in pursuit of foreigner investment coming in, either to set up company, either to do investment. So that's why you can see James Dyson is over here, the Hai Di Lao boss is over here. Hai Di Lao boss also become the Singaporean top #1 richest Singaporean. Yeah, so something funny lah, something interesting lah. Okay, right. So also we can see a lot of newspaper article talking about the uncertainty in Singapore property market. right? So a lot of business have been shutting down. On my side, on the ground, right, I've been sharing with people, right? I have already a few tenants and landlords I'm handling lah. Because with the COVID-19, right, some of them they cannot keep up with their rent. So bo pian, they got to shut down their business and close shop lah. No choice really. So we are talking about unprecedented. Wow, this word very overused. Unprecedented. Wow, I keep hearing this word. So the thing that we are facing right now is really unprecedented. So bo pian, we also don't know what's going to happen in the future, right? So a lot of situations, a lot of sectors is uncertain, but we can always look at the bright spots lah. Bright spots meaning to say like what? Like you can see in this situation, Sheng Siong supermarket doing very well, technology product doing very well. Suddenly Zoom doing very well. Suddenly digital products sell very well. Right? What else? Your healthcare lah, your sanitizer, your mask also booming. So I would say the shift, right, or this thing, right, this crisis, right, will really force people to change in terms of their behavior. So if you look back into this, if you look this shift in terms of the demographic behavior back into the property market, right, we have to really take a step back and really analyze what's going to be happening in the future. Like if you are foreseeing that bosses they are not going to use so much of our office space today, if you buy not to mention, I mean, not to say they are not good lah. I'm saying just saying like if you buy small units to rent out for offices and all these things, like I'm not so certain because already we are seeing that a lot of SMEs, right, they are shrinking their staff reliance on the office. So some of them they are saying that, hey, since you are working at home, your productivity remain the same, then just work at home, don't need to come office already, right or not? So if let's say they want to meeting or what, Zoom meeting, right or not? So nowadays very common already. You see a lot of people now do Zoom meeting, no Zoom meeting. I think it's even much better if you do Zoom meeting. What is BBT? Bubble tea. Bubble tea, of course, boom. Every time boom one. Bubble tea is the only industry that evergreen one. Government want to shut down, people still want to drink bubble tea. Then after that, still got delivery for bubble tea. Walao eh. This business cannot do one. Singaporean love for the bubble tea is superb, man. Right. So um, if let's say we are foreseeing that not so many people already are going to look for offices and all these things, right? Then if you are today a landlord, you are buying I mean units commercial or industrial that target this kind of group, right? You really need to rethink that will there be any future demand for all these things or not? And even some of the co-working space, right? Some of these short-term lease tenants, right? They are also giving up their lease already. Because like I mentioned again, Zoom meeting is so convenient now. In fact, I think it's much better. Because of Zoom, I managed to attend so many prom next trainings. In the past, a bit lazy. Need to drive to Toa Payoh. I stay quite far from Toa Payoh, right? So need to drive to Toa Payoh 10 a.m. go and listen to the trainer and speaker talking. Then after that, usually it's 10 a.m. or 2 p.m. right? So this kind of timing. Right now with Zoom, wow, just wake up, turn on the phone, turn on the laptop, watch, listen. So during this the circuit breaker, right, I actually really attended a lot of different course from different guru lah. So bubble tea how to Zoom delivery right now. With bubble tea can Zoom wow, xiao liao. Yeah. So if we are talking about all these trainings and all these things, right, it's all moving and shifting online already. In fact, our company also hosts a lot of webinars, consumers webinars for people to listen and understand about the real estate market. And in the past, like show flat setting, right, we're talking about show flat setting. The most we can squeeze maybe how many? 100 people, 200 people into the small show flat. And the timing is usually after work, weekday after work. Then people need to, rush from their office, go to the show flat, listen 1 hour, 2 hour. Then sometimes we have buffet spread for them. Then they eat and listen. Then some of them they may be like a bit tired because after work But now with Zoom, right, on the go. Some of them they told me they watching the webinar right on their office. Sometimes they OT but not really OT. You know what I mean? So sometimes they sit in the office, right? They go and listen, watch their iPhone and listen to the next consumer webinar, which is something good. I think with this technology, it forces people to adapt information and adapt to changes much faster as well. So this is bring about what I want to show lah. Like in fact myself, right, I've been doing a lot of Zoom virtual open house and all these things for people and sellers already. So people are accepting already. So I will say that if let's say today, if you are a buyer, right, you still think that you will want to go and see the actual unit before making a decision, right? I would like to share with you this case study is that if let's say today, right, you are targeting a condo, a particular condo, right, you only want a certain block, a certain floor, right, and you still cannot decide over Zoom, right, then it's going to be very challenging for you because what you're aiming, right, other people also aiming. So if you want to wait for the physical building, phase 2 to be up, then you decide, right, high chance is that that unit may be gone already. So that's my take lah. Of course, if let's say today the unit is you don't mind second floor face dustbin, I think can wait lah. Nobody go and rush with you. 没有跟你抢 relax, relax. So of course, like I say again, this kind of scenario, we have to look at what's happening in the market sentiment. I mean, what happened to the property landscape? There's really a lot of new opportunities out there. Like we start to do a lot of Zoom sharing. In fact, through the Zoom sharing, right, I find that the consumer, they will sit down and listen. Then I can explain more clearly with the screen shown like this. Right, I can say, okay, this block is located here. How many minutes to LRT? All these things. So sometimes, not all the time. Sometimes I forget to bring iPad Then I point. Wow, the customer also don't understand. So I forgot to bring iPad. My fault my fault. Then you cannot showcase But with the Zoom, right, you do your share screen, then the person can look at the screen. One look, they know where the block is ready. I can even show things like the Google Earth, the one map to show where the primary school is, street directory show where is the actual building, the nearest MRT, the bus stop, the bus services. What else I use? Sometimes URA URA to show what is the upcoming land use for surrounding that particular project. So these are some of the tools that is very efficient already. So with Zoom meeting and all these things, right? Customers sometimes I would say sometimes even more strict even more strict in terms of seeing the house. Why I say so? Because I got the experience the buyer asking to keep zooming in he said, hey, can get the seller to go closer or not, Wow, see the whole house inspect every corner of it So I mean it's good I mean because you cannot go there right, but the seller is also very good, very cooperative. So I would say that in this COVID-19 situation, there are always good things and bad things depending on how you look at it, right? So end of the day, right, if let's say today you really have a genuinely need, right, to buy a house for a certain reason, then don't be so close-minded. Go and see the Zoom first. You see the Zoom and the unit and all that, right? It can be arranged. Of course, sometimes I do know that some of the units is tenanted. The tenants are not cooperative, also very difficult. Or sometimes the owners, they're overseas, then they don't have the key. So as agents, right, we also cannot go inside the house and take video and show you, right or not? So sometimes resale unit, they have all these challenges, right? But of course, at the same time, right, if let's say we are talking about property segment, right, upcoming, I really do not know how the developer is going to adapt in terms of the showing of their new projects and all these things. The first two projects likely to be launched, right, is going to be Foret at Upper Bukit Timah near to Beauty World that side. The other one will be at Penrose near to Aljunied MRT. Okay, so these two projects, right, will be a very good indicator of how consumers are behaving, or how investors are behaving, reacting to the market right now. Because if let's say, right, boom, we go out, Forex, Penrose, we say first day sell cross 20%, right? I think it's a very strong indicator already. Meaning to say, right, people are able to commit into property, and there are still appetite for buying a property as a form of a long-term investment, or for their own stay, right? So these are the things that we agents on the ground, we are also slowly adapting. And if what do you mean by can micro, Marvin? I don't understand. Yeah, so these are the things that um, that that is happening on the ground, and we all just have to adapt to what's happening. Like what I'm doing with you right now lah, live video. Last time I never do one very camera shy one you know or not? I do live video, wow, scary man. Right or not? So also get to adapt lah. Sales agents like us, we need to adapt, we need to change, right? So talking to camera, talking to viewers who are watching from the comfort of their home. So if you're just tuning in, coming in, I repeat again why I do late night, right? Because number one, after my daughter sleep, then the house is quiet, then I can do late night. Number two, because maybe I have to target parents. Parents, you put your kids to sleep already, then you can watch. Then sometimes I show a lot of graph, data and chart, right? very good for you to sleep, right? Because some people, right, they lie down on the bed, then they watch Korean drama, watch, then fall asleep. 没有意思 meaningless right? So they watch mine lah. At least I got some educational value, some tips about properties and all these things. At least you fall asleep, right? You thinking about property. Wow, how I wish I can buy this, how I wish I can buy that, right? Okay, then after that, remember to call me lah, right? So these are the things that I just want to do a quick sharing about what's happening in the property market scene. Okay, then if you have any things that you want to ask, right, like I say again, right, this is the Ask Anything series that I'm doing lah. As much as possible, I really want to do it on a daily basis, but that really depends on my schedule. Like past 2 days, right, I missed 2 days. Wow, very sad because I really want to like unbreak record daily, that kind of thing. But then my computer down lah. Then after that, got entertainment coming in lah. Then my lighting spoil lah. A lot of sian lah. A lot of things happen lah. That's why I missed out past 2 days. So if past 2 days, right, if you miss me, you never see me, right, I'm sorry because things happen lah. So really admire those agents are out there, right, who really can do daily without stop without fail or what. They really respect. I only how many days 6 days then I missed out 2 days. Now is the now is the 9th day 第九天 the 9th day already lah. Right. So today I just want to do a quick sharing about what's happening in the market. What is the overall sentiment about COVID, and then just to give you some basic updates about in the past, what are the cooling measures and easing measures that has been happening. So I always like to share with people lah. Like today now, right, we are in a time of uncertainty, right? So people always ask, hey, now is good time to buy or shall wait and see? Then I always ask back them, what is your objective of buying? If let's say your objective is buying, right, is for kids' education near the school and all these things, you can't really time it, right? If you're, let's say you're timing because you want to go in at a very low price and all these things, right? Then you have to ask today, a lot of resale owners, right, that I'm serving, a lot of resale owners, they are pricing very firm because their holding power is still very strong. Like a lot of I have a lot of SMS, a lot of calls. They give lowball offer. Wow, give until at DL wow So this I mean I cannot fault them also because crisis people always expect crisis got cheap deal. Then they try lor. Just a few days I posted my unit 600K, they try 420, selling 700K, they try 500K. Wow, see this kind of thing, vomit blood, Walao, how to how to control your emotion like that. Yes, must do refinance. If let's say your one is HDB loan or bank loan, you have to double check because HDB you can switch to bank loan Then bank loan same thing as well, you can do a reprice. You check with your existing bank to see whether you want to do a reprice or not. Reprice meaning with the same bank, right? You switch to a different package, better package. I think Alison write a very good article about it, right? Yeah, correct, man, Melvin. Low baller sucks. Oh, yeah, see, also sian, man. Right. So, if you want to do refinancing, right? Yes, I would say now is a very good time because his 10 years of my career, I have never seen such low interest rate before. Really, it's very low. So it's a very good time you want to refinance. If let's say you're still paying interest rate like over 2% one, right? Faster go and call your bank to see whether they got a different package to offer you or not. If not, you can contact a mortgage broker. Mortgage broker are people who have access to all the banks, right? Then they can help you to assess which is the bank package that is the best for you to enter lah. Right. So these are some of the things that maybe you will want to consider because this kind of low interest rate, it will not be there for long one. When most of the developed countries are slowly opening up again, right? Economies start to kickstart and run slowly, but surely, like last time again, slowly but surely, the interest rate will slowly rise up again, right? Because the interest rate cannot be for negative one, not negative. The interest rate cannot be so low for so long. Not sustainable. Right, I think. Right. So with cost of borrowing so cheap, then I don't know. That's something that I'm not economist. But the way I see it, low interest rate, ideally not so good for economy, right? I don't know. Yeah, okay. If you watch my video before you sleep, you will have good dreams. For sure. Okay, so wow, today talk also very long, almost 10:40 already. Okay, so if let's say if you have any more questions, right, just feel free to type in the comments. I will read them later. And then like I say again, I hope to do this on a daily basis. So I think of some good topics. If you want me to talk about anything, please feel free to let me know. Then I will collate some of the more popular topics and then I'll go live and talk about it. All right. If not, more or less, I have come to the end of today's live sharing session. Wow, today really shack. Right. Thank you very much. Staying till the end. If you let's say you are watching from 10 to now. Thank you, thank you. Bye bye. Bye bye. Good night. Sweet dreams.